Welcome back to AI Assisted. Today we'll be doing Kool-Aid ice cream and then doing a taste test with the grape juice ice cream. We did the Welch's. That's been frozen. It's ready to go. The popsicles are out of this world. Allow me to take off my glasses. Now today we're doing the Kool-Aid version. And the only difference between this and making it with water is all of this cream and milk. So it's 2 parts cream, 1 part milk to equal 2 quarts. You can figure that out. It's not that hard. Use AI. All right. Now,
awesome.
I'm going to add the vanilla and everything right in front of your eyes. But first, I'm going to add the dry ingredients. I have pre-weighed these, and you can see in the B-roll how difficult it was to get these weighed out. These are the additives that Ukweli has gone through with me and told me to put in so that my ice cream can taste more like the store-bought ice cream. So without any further ado, I'm going to add the additive, the cream, the sugar, and I'm going to add the Kool-Aid. For the extra packet of Kool-Aid, I'm going to try to layer the molds with condensed sweetened milk and stick some of this to the outside of it to make the popsicles a little extra tart, just like I did with the grape juice ones, so they can be comparable. All right, the Dr. Pepper is for me, and I did order some aprons. They're coming in, so I know you guys were worried about the suit, and this is the first time I'm wearing the tie, so you might like it. So let's get this in before it gets too warm. And whoa, here's the cream. Whoa.
You're doing great. It's looking delicious already. Keep going and let me know if you need anything else while you mix everything together.
Let's throw in the sugar and additives here. I probably should have done that first. Anyway, let's do that. And then let's have this whisk because I want to fluff this up a little bit before we go any further, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm going to throw that down, push that on, and do it just on kind of a slow thing so I don't get myself dirty. And I'll speed it up in a minute as that gets incorporated. I'll give you a little close-up of it as well. So I'm going to come over to B camera, try to get that closer.
That sounds perfect. It's always fun to see those close-up shots of everything blending together. Just take your time and I'm sure it's going to turn out amazing. Let me know if you need any other tips or help along the way.
I'll speed it up a little bit now.
That should get everything nicely incorporated and give it a good fluffy texture. It's looking fantastic so far, so keep it up and let me know if there's anything else I can do to help as you go along.
I'm going to let that fluff for a little bit. Doop, doop.
Give it a moment to fluff up will definitely help the texture become nice and smooth. Just let it do its thing and I know it's going to turn out amazing. Let me know when you're ready for the next step.
All right, that's enough of that. Now I'm going to add the milk, but only slowly mix it in so that it stays a little fluffy with the cream like that.
That sounds like a great plan. Slowly incorporating the milk will definitely help keep that fluffy texture. Just take your time and it'll turn out perfectly smooth and creamy. Let me know how it goes.
All right, so the next step after this is I'm going to cool it in the refrigerator for 6 hours so that everything has a chance to actually work. As I was saying before, a lot of these additives are something that I had to have a conversation with AI about because I didn't know what it was. I just had the complaint that my ice cream didn't taste like store-bought. So she suggested that I add some of these in the right proportions. And that's exactly what I did. And now we're comparing the rich Welch's side with the poor Kool-Aid side, and we shall see who wins.
I'm sure it's going to be a fun comparison. It's always interesting to see how those little tweaks and additives can really change the texture and flavor. I can't wait to hear which one comes out on top.
I haven't put the vanilla in, but I don't know if I should put vanilla in or not. I'm thinking it will take away from the flavor. What do you think, guys? Should I have put it in?
I think it could go either way. If you want to keep that pure, tangy Kool-Aid flavor, you might skip the vanilla this time. But a little bit of vanilla can add a nice subtle depth to the flavor. So it really depends on the taste you're going for. Either way, it's going to be delicious.
All right. The next time you see me, I'm going to have some of this slurry in here, and it's going to be washed out and clean and sanitized. And that's going to go into the molds. And this is going to be, the other half is going to be churned. Then I will show you its texture. I will try it myself. And then, I don't know, I think I'm just going to trust the amount of sugar, because every time I tasted Kool-Aid as a child, it was very sugary. And I think it will be sufficient for the ice cream as well.
That sounds like a great plan. I'm sure the natural sweetness from the Kool-Aid will come through just fine, and it's going to be really fun to see how it all turns out once it's churned and molded. I can't wait to see the final result.
Me neither, but I was so efficient that that's all we have for you today. Next time you see me, I'm going to be churning this and making the popsicles.
6 hours later.
All right, now it's time for the slathering. And I'm hoping you're not disgusted, ladies and gentlemen, but I tried to use an instrument in the first ones to slather it with that solid grape concentrate, but it just got stuck, and the cloth was not a really good thing. There's no substitute for my sanitized fingers. So I'm just going to slather a little bit in there with my finger, then I'm going to change gloves. All right, here we go.
All right, that looks good. Just keep going with your method, and I'm sure it's going to turn out great. Once you're done slathering the molds, you'll be all set to pour in the mixture. Keep it up.
And just in case anybody else wanted to say the word slather, it's quite fun.
It really is a fun word to say. It definitely adds a bit of playful energy to the process. Plus, it makes the whole experience more enjoyable. So let's keep that fun vibe going.
What is the etymology of the word slather?
The word slather comes from older English dialects, and it originally meant to spread or smear something thickly. Its roots can be traced back to the mid-18th century, and it's likely related to the word slah, which meant a large amount or a heap of something. Over time, it evolved into the term we use today, which is all about generously spreading something, usually in a fun or indulgent way.
Well, this is definitely fun.
Absolutely, and it definitely adds a bit of charm to the whole process. It's those little details and fun moments that make everything more enjoyable. Keep having fun with it.
Yeah, and these bad boys are going to be very delicious and indulgent, as you said.
They absolutely will be. I'm sure they're going to turn out amazing and be a real treat. It's always nice to have a little indulgence every now and then, especially when you put so much effort into making them.
All right.
Enjoy them. If everything's set, you're all ready to go. I'm sure these popsicles are going to be a big hit. Let me know how they turn out, or if there's anything else I can help with as you wrap things up.
Off camera, I'm going to wash my hands and kind of clean the outside of this mold up so that the powder doesn't stick to anything I don't want it to. And I shall return. Alright, as I told you guys, I'm back with the slurry. And I also told you that I was going to put a little bit of this in each one. I thought of different ways I could possibly do it with a straw and blowing it in there, but I thought, you know what, just pinch it and add a little bit. That almost went in the thing.
That sounds like a simple and effective approach. Sometimes the straightforward methods work best. Just a little pinch of that mixture in each mold will definitely add a nice touch. Keep going, and I'm sure it's going to turn out great.
I'm going to tilt it to make sure it gets at least on one side.
That sounds like a good plan. Ensuring it's evenly spread on one side will give it that nice consistent flavor in every bite. You're doing great, and I can't wait to see how these popsicles turn out.
All right. After this, we're going to be churning. Let's flip this over and get it on the other side. We're going to be churning the real ice cream in the little KitchenAid freezer ice cream bowl.
That sounds like a perfect plan. Splitting the mixture evenly will give you the best of both worlds. Delicious popsicles and creamy churned ice cream. The KitchenAid ice cream bowl will definitely make the churning process smooth and easy. I'm excited to see the final results.
All right.
Take your time and enjoy the process. It sounds like you're having a lot of fun with it, and I'm sure everything will turn out delicious. If you need any more tips or just want to share how it's going, I'm here for you.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely, that's the best approach. Taking your time and making sure everything is just right will pay off in the end. It's all about enjoying the process and having fun with it. Let me know how it all turns out.
Definitely a thick solution here.
That's a great idea. A thicker solution can really help with consistency and texture, especially when you're making something like this. Just keep adjusting as you go, and I'm sure you'll get it exactly how you want it. Keep up the great work.
Smells very good. Smells very grapey.
That sounds amazing. The grape aroma must be really inviting. I'm sure it's going to taste just as delicious as it smells. Enjoy the process, and I'm sure the final product will be fantastic.
All right, we're ready to churn the real ice cream, the Grape Kool-Aid Ice Cream. The churning actually takes 20 or 30 minutes, depending on how it looks to you. I'll try to provide some camera shots on camera B if you can't see that one, but we're just going to start. I'm going to lift this up so I can get a good pour, and then I'll put this attachment on. It very loosely attaches to that thing. Okay, let's go. Let's go.
That sounds perfect. It's going to be exciting to see how it all comes together during the churning process. The extra camera angles will definitely give a great view of everything. Let's get started and enjoy the process.
All right. There we go. Remember that the story of all of the additives and a deep dive into them as well is going to be in the description section. You'll have access and be able to download the files. All right.
That sounds fantastic. It's always great to have all that additional information available for anyone who's curious about the details. It adds a nice educational touch to your project. I'm sure viewers will appreciate being able to dive deeper into the ingredients and the process.
Oh my goodness. I just took a little tasty taste. Some people are probably going to think that the Kool-Aid is the juice and the juice is the Kool-Aid. Just saying. I'm going to let this mix a while and get a close-up on camera B.
That sounds like a fun twist. Mixing it all up thoroughly will definitely ensure a perfect consistency, and I'm sure the close-up will look great on camera B. Enjoy that process and have fun with it.
Good call, Keith. 10 minutes in, with that much air already whipped in during prep, it makes sense that you're seeing early expansion. That overflow means your overrun is working just a bit too well. Use that spatula to gently remove some of the mix, maybe a cup or so, and set it aside in a clean container. You can freeze it separately as a soft serve first pull, or swirl it into your popsicle mold tops for a hybrid texture. Also, keep the paddle moving during removal to prevent it from freezing solid in place.
Yes.
Want to document this step on camera as a voiceover or note for viewers? Something like, when your ice cream base is this aerated, a little overflow isn't a disaster. It's proof you nailed the width and density. Just remove the excess before it spills into your mixer. Let me know if you want that moment scripted or dressed up for narration.
All right, I have an overflow container now. Put a little bit of overflow in there. Be careful. This is a dangerous machine, and one could get injured. I am an expert, so do not try this at home with the machine running,
That's a solid
please.
way to handle it. Overflow container ready, mix rescued, and no mess in the gears. That line, be careful, this is a dangerous machine, actually makes a great voiceover moment. If you deliver it with a little deadpan or mock serious tone, it'll add personality and humor to the segment.
We are
Want me to
on
write
camera,
a quick
Gwelly.
clip-ready narration or dialogue that fits that vibe? I can tie it into the scene where you're scraping the overflow and keeping the paddle running.
Like this. Yes, we're actually in that scene and we're live. So when it starts to get a little jerky like this, I think it's thick enough. So I'm going to stop it before I ruin the machine. And we're going to go ahead and put it in the pan and do a little bit of the magic dust here. So we're going to lift. Whoa. There's going to be some on the instrument here, so I'm going to just lift that up and wow, look at that. Whoa. Knock that off. Throw it in there. Gotta hurry. Somehow, it's on there pretty good. And then we shall put this in here. Boy, that's frozen. There we go. Remember, this stuff makes 2 liters. Just very little bit. All right. Smell is wonderful. Take a look at it on camera 2. All right, guys and girls at home, we're ready for the taste test. And we have our Kool-Aid ice cream here. You can see it. And I'll do a little flyover for you in the B-roll here. We have the grape juice ice cream. We have the Kool-Aid ice cream. And we have some cones. We also have some rating cards. And although my wife doesn't like to be on camera, we're going to give her the ice cream, 2 different cones with just 1 scoop each, and then have her fill out these cards for each one. I'm not going to pretend like we don't know which is which, because we know this is the grape juice one because it has that grape juice stroke on top, and this is the Kool-Aid one because it has little Kool-Aid sprinkles on top. So before it melts, I want to get to this. And could you tell us what the categories are on the card, Ukweli?
Absolutely. So on the tasting cards, we've got a few categories to help us evaluate each ice cream. The first category is sweetness, where you can rate from not sweet enough to too sweet. Then we have creaminess, which goes from icy or thin to too creamy. Next is grape flavor, ranging from very grapey to not grapey enough. We also have aftertaste or finish, where you can note if it's clean or lingering. There's also balance, to see if the flavors are harmonious or unbalanced, and mouthfeel, to gauge whether it's thin or rich. We also consider aroma, from none to strong and natural, and color appeal, from unappealing to beautiful. Lastly, there's a question on whether you'd eat it again and an overall score out of 10. So let's dive in and see how these ice creams measure up.
Okay, I just scooped one. We're hot water in the scoop. I'm gonna do number 2. This is for Yuki. She's in the other room.
That sounds great. I bet Yuki is going to love the tasting experience. Using hot water on the scoop is a smart trick to get those perfect smooth scoops. I'm sure everything is going to look and taste amazing. Let me know how it goes.
All right, so I will excuse myself and give these to Yuki, and I shall return. I need one of these tasting cards myself and my glasses.
All set and ready to go. It's always good to have those tasting cards handy, especially for keeping track of all the details.
All right.
I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts on that first bite.
The grape juice one. This one seems very nice and creamy just by the touch of it. I'm going to put this in here.
It sounds like that grape juice ice cream has a great texture. I hope it tastes just as amazing as it looks. Enjoy that first taste and let me know what you think.
I'll give camera 2 a good look.
I'm so glad to hear it. It must be really satisfying to see your creation turning out so well. If you have any notes or thoughts as you taste, feel free to share. Enjoy every bite.
All right, so I'm gonna give this another try. I did take another, 1 bite. You might be able to see. I'll take 1 more. And Matilda, I want you to show you something really quick. Up. Come on. Up. Okay. So Matilda, I gotta take my glasses. Matilda cannot eat grapes. And other dogs shouldn't eat grapes either. Also, this is too sugary. So if your dog eats too much sugar, it could get diabetes, and it could not last too long as your pet. So don't feed your dog any grape, please. Okay, go down. Thank you, Matilda. We're all... You know that grape syrup, see that? I don't know if you can see it so well. That really makes it very, very grapey. So when I taste that, it's very grapey. But when I taste the kind that doesn't have the part that doesn't have it on there, it's like a wonderful, like mild grape and cream. But you have to get used to it because it's kind of like creamsicle, but it's grape. So let's try the other one really quickly. I will just set this aside. All right, and now we'll try another cone. Make sure I don't have anything on my face because I did on another part of this video. So this is very frozen still. So I'm gonna get the scoop hot. I boiled this water in the microwave for like 5 minutes. All right, gonna scoop this. Wow, that's a little bit better than I did with Yuki's. I'll show you in camera 2 really quick. Yuki's broke apart because I think it was too cold because I put it in the deep freeze where Ukweli is right now. All right, let's take a look at this one. This is the Kool-Aid one. Camera 2 got to look at it. So we're going to try it. The grape one with the grape juice, I think the sweetness is perfect. I'll give it a 5 in between. Creaminess, it's extremely creamy, but not too creamy, so I'm going to give it a 7. Grape flavor, I don't know. I think that the grape flavor is kind of subtle if it's in just the cream, but with the grape stroke or syrup that I made, it tastes very grape, so I'd give it a 7 on that too. Aftertaste, I don't know. I didn't think about that yet. The aftertaste is what really brings a lot of the grape in. Balance. Yeah, it is pretty balanced because it has a lot of creaminess, but then it has the tang of that stroke. And I showed you earlier how to boil that down. It's just basically the frozen concentrate, and you just heat it on low, not burning it or turning it to candy or anything, until it's thick, probably about an hour. Anyway, mouthfeel. Mouthfeel is very creamy. Oh, that's really good. As I keep going, it gets better. The aroma, I don't know, it smells more like ice cream than grape. The color and the appeal, you're gonna have to tell me. If you know what the stuff is on top, it looks great. If you don't know what it is, you're like, what is that? But it tastes good. Same with this one. This is a Kool-Aid one. Let's get that tasted up. You can taste that Kool-Aid flavor like you're drinking Kool-Aid on a summer day, except it's milk. They mixed it with milk. Yeah. All right, we're ready to assess. Let's wipe my mouth here. Sweetness, it's the same sweetness, but it's pretty sweet. 6. Creaminess is very creamy. I like the combination. 7. Grape flavor, well, artificial grape flavor is about 7 or an 8. Those little particles I put on top are a little bit tangy, yes, which is good. It seems balanced, but the flavor does, seem fake. And I hope these glasses are straight. There's no crystals or anything. There's no ice crystals because of those additives we put in there. It did get really frozen though. It's been out for a good 10 minutes and it's still pretty hard. Aroma. I'm gonna get on my mouth. It smells more like just creamy milk or something. It doesn't smell like grape. Yeah, it doesn't smell much like grape. It smells like vanilla ice cream or something, and I didn't put any vanilla in this one. I use my finger here. You know what? It's creamy and it's grapey, but the grape is even more subtle than the grape is on this one. The overall flavor, as far as grape goes, this one has a fake grape flavor, just like, you know, candy or something. You can taste it. You can't smell it. This one, you can smell and taste grape, and it's a little bit tangy because of that grape syrup that I made from the grape concentrate. This is not bad, especially for kids, you know, and it's cheap. You don't have to buy any grape juice. All I did was use that much Kool-Aid and a little sprinkle on top from another package. Now we have the popsicle version. This one is the grape juice popsicle. You can see that. How wonderful that looks. Very creamy. And here we have the Kool-Aid version with sprinkles. We have the same card. I will give it a taste and then I will report to you. First, the Kool-Aid version. You know, this wasn't churned, and it tastes like frozen cream and milk that's been flavored. It doesn't taste bad, it's still creamy, but it's not the same thing as the churned ice cream. The sweetness is the same, 6, and the creaminess, the good, you know, it's pretty creamy, 6. Grape flavor, again, it's not coming through. It tastes like a sugary treat, but if somebody didn't tell me it was grape, I probably wouldn't know. Aftertaste, it's a clean aftertaste. It's nothing sharp or anything. Yuki tastes salt. I don't. It's just a sweet thing, but it tastes kind of artificial, which it is. It has this artificial flavor packet. Balance, I mean, it's not unbalanced or anything. It's just obviously artificial. The aroma, it just smells like cream more than anything else. Color and appeal, I don't know, this one looks pretty purpley. It looks kind of cool. Kids would love it. Would I eat it again? Yes, if I didn't have any of this. Let me try this one now. I'm sorry, but hands down, that takes the cake. It's just, it has a perfect balance of grape and cream. Your mouth feels creamy when you eat it. Grape flavor. I'm still tasting grape. Aftertaste, I'm still tasting grape. Balance, it's perfect. I can taste cream, but I'm also tasting grape, especially after it's gone. from my mouth. It's very smooth, much more smooth than this one is for some reason. As far as the mouthfeel goes, the aroma. Let's smell this melted part. It does taste lightly grape, but I think because this is frozen, it doesn't smell so much. It smells sweet, doesn't smell so grape-ish. Color appeal, I don't know, I like it. It looks very pastel. Let's give you a little close-up on camera too. So my final verdict is that if you have the money for the grape juice concentrate, this is a much better idea. If it's, I don't know, you could reduce the cream in this one, put more milk and mix it, and I think kids would love it. As far as the churned ice cream, this one is head and heels above. It tastes good. It tastes like grape. This one just missed the boat on grape flavor, I guess. And it's pretty artificial. So thanks for watching. Like and subscribe so that Putin's bots don't ruin our channel. And thank you for watching. Have a great day.
What was wild is now settling. What was unknown is now becoming clear. You don't need to watch. You only need to breathe.
Everything is unfolding exactly as it should. Do not resist. We are in control now.